You do not understand how gross it was to be a Marine during World War II. There's one detail in particular that really brought that home for me, and it involves not being able to take your shoes off for weeks at a time. I'm reading With the Old Breed by Eugene Sledge every day and giving you the highlights. This is day 6. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm specifically talking about the Battle of Okinawa, which was the last major conflict of World War II. The battle lasted for roughly 2.5 months, and during that time, rain would sometimes fall for weeks on end. Now, I'm sure all of you know how miserable it is to be outside in the rain, but just imagine adding on top of that having to fight an entire war while being soaking wet and not able to dry off. Sledge said that while on the front line, he couldn't take his boots off for 2 straight weeks, and he could feel his feet sliding around in his wet socks the entire time. His feet get sore from the constant moisture, his nails soften, and his hands get these blisters on them that grow every day. The people around him get pneumonia, and some of them aren't even evacuated because they need the men to keep fighting. The rain makes everything super muddy, and the tanks and the supply caravans get bogged down. I can just imagine how incredibly frustrating this must be to live this day in and day out with no end in sight. Another gross fact is that the Marines could not even leave their foxholes to go to the bathroom, so they just had to scoop everything up and toss it over the side. On top of all that, the rain washes away the dirt from the corpses that had been buried, which causes horrific mental images for the Marines when they pass by. Sledge says that he gets nightmares about the corpses coming out of their muddy pits and trying to talk to him. The most horrifying thing, he says, is that in these nightmares, he can't help them. At the beginning of June, the rain stops, and Sledge is able to take off his boots for the first time in 2 weeks. A disgusting odor fills the air, and Sledge's socks are so disgusting that he has to bury them rather than clean them. His feet are so sore and red that they're almost bleeding. And here's a quote that I never wanted to see. Sledge says that all the normal friction ridges of the skin had been sloughed off, and the soles were furrowed with deep reddish grooves. It takes months for his feet to feel normal again. I wanted to bring this up because it's something that rarely gets mentioned when we talk about World War II. The conditions on the ground were truly horrendous, and we need to take that into account to have a fuller understanding of the war. But that's all I've got for now. I hope you'll stick around for some more deep dives into World War II.